Hello everyone and welcome back to the new academic year. I hope you had a great summer and you enjoyed your time with family and coming full of energy to the city. This year will be another exciting year. We'll be focused more on what we need to do and we will achieve together uh, high performance as usual in the HCT. Now, the table of contents will talk about characteristics of the CISAC, how CISAC will look like in 2015-16, what are the strategic direction and common goals we'll do. We'll talk about accreditation, which is very important for us. We'll take most of our time this year in looking at how we maintain our accreditation and keep a record and do quality improvement and continuous improvement in that aspect. Then what we need to do to prepare for 2015-16, I think that already started, but I need to remind you a few things we need to do during our faculty day. Then key activities and competition that we'll be busy with for the year. This year is very important for us to focus on continuous improvement. We have to close the loop, and that's something we did not focus a lot on it during the last year. We have done, but we're looking at courses more. But this year we need to look at programs and accreditation, CA, ABET, and others accreditation for applied com like ACA and others. They would like to see how we are measuring the attainment of our program learning outcome. And that's very important. So assessment are centered around evaluation and attainment of program learning outcome. So we need to see how those assessments are achieving the program learning outcome. It's not enough for us to look at the course learning outcome. No, we need to look at the program outcome. So each one of us teaching a course this semester, and the great news that we all teaching this semester, we need to look at the program learning outcome and the course learning outcome together and how to achieve that. I bet they call the program learning outcome student outcomes, just for us to get familiar with that terminology. And they have something else called program educational objectives, which we'll look at it later in our presentation. We need to be more consistent and we need to have high quality course delivery. If you look at our course files now, each college, they have their folders, and within the folder, you'll find the semester, and look at the course files in each one. There is big difference between those courses, which tells accreditors and people that we're not teaching at the same level. And we need to fix that. That's something we need to work on it. So we need to come together with one course material for each course, and that should be a high quality, should be mapped to the program learning outcome, should be the right level in terms of national qualification authority and other related important aspects of assessment and quality improvement. So we need to have this course material, common course material for every course. And the good news, we have those course material, but they are on so many folders at each different college. Why don't we take the best of all of them and put it in one folder and have a mechanism and process to go around to evaluate them and improve them of continuous improvement and keep a record of that. Again, keeping a record and minutes and evidence and reflections are very important for quality improvement or for our accreditation. We need to have all common goals that we all agree to it, and this is important. I think all faculty should have the same goals, chairs and associate dean, executive deans. So common goals will help us all to work together and join forces. And instead of us going into different directions and achieving a little here and little there will not help. If we focus on the above things, assessment, course files, and evaluation of our program learning outcome, this will be very essential for us, and that's what we need to do. We need to reduce those meetings and also other activities that are not really helping us. We are very active in so many projects. Sometimes doing so many of that will take our time. For sure, the time is limited. Faculty are busy with teaching, and we're busy with other important aspects. So you're putting the things uh, uh, together, you'll find we need to reduce those unproductive meetings. So the meeting should be short, should be focused, should have agenda, and people also, when they participate, they should focus what they wanted to do and what they want to express their opinion on, and come also with a solution instead of always talking about issues without a solution. So we reduce the number of meetings. We used to have a FAC meeting every week. We're not going to have that. You'll see that. We'll reduce that. Course team meeting will reduce it as well to 2 in the semester instead of 3, and make them focus as well. And other events we used to have, we will reduce it as well because of we need time to focus on the quality, on the core business, which we need to do. We need to have fun and team spirit, which should be fun really, because we're all contributing our best, and we're all working together as a team. There is no need to put too much pressure on ourselves, and manage things properly. If we manage time properly, manage issues properly, I think we should be in a better situation, and we should have a more team spirit. We should have fun, and we should work as a great team as we used to be for many years. Here are the key priorities which we, I think, need to focus on, and there are 6 of them. First one is we need to have common course content for each course. As I discussed before, our course material are not the same quality, not the same depth, and they do not reflect that we are teaching the same course. That's what currently the situation. Not every course, there's so many courses are in a good shape, but there are many also courses having different course material. That should not continue. So we need to work together. We'll have someone leading every course and making sure the course material are the same for every course, and map to all these different important things that we need to look at it, which our program learning outcome, our ABET in terms of CIS student outcome, and NQA level descriptors. And all those information available, and I'll show you where you can find this information, and you do that based on that. The next one, we need to have for each course a common assessment. CA, when they came, they said you have good specifications, but there is no assurance that all faculty are using the same specification and at the same level. And the solution is to have a common assessment. And we are one system. It doesn't make sense that each one of us have his or her own assessment for the same specification, for the same course, for the same type of student and background and whatever. So we need a common assessment, and we need to work together on contributing to building that common assessment. And again, it should be the highest quality, not the lowest quality in our delivery. And I'm sure our faculty will achieve that. And that's something we need details to go through that. You will see the details later. Then the third important one, which coming again from our accreditation, is we're focusing too much on the course learning outcome, but we're not really evaluating the program learning outcome. And we need to do that. And we have a system in place to do that. And also we need to close the loop. When we find a program learning outcome was not achieved during a year, what should we do about that? We have to close the loop. So we have to go and review and find where we need to do an actions. Maybe we need to get a prerequisite fixed and get student to have prerequisite knowledge before coming to this course, and maybe we need to improve some other courses that lead to that course. We need to do something about, and we need to document that, discuss it in our FAQ, document it, and action it, and measure the improvement later, and go through that cycle of continuous improvement. We also need to lead our students to actively participate in some of the important industry and government projects. Some of it we cannot ignore it. If you ignore it, we are wrong. Like the M-Government is a national initiative and it's very important. The Emirates skill is important. Film festivals important. So those things we need to have them, but we need to limit those numbers and focus on the key events and competitions. And I have a slide later that talk about this. Then reviewing and updating teaching resources. Our labs, we need to continue improving it. I think we have made some progress there, but still there are more things we need to do, and we need to work on that and improve the equipments and also improve the utilization of those lab equipments and the effectiveness of those lab equipments in improving student learning. The professional development is core for us. I think we have done, again, good progress in this last years, but I think we need to continue. We need to provide relevant and advanced PDs to our faculty, and we will work on that as well. So these are the 6 things. I think the first, I can say for everyone will work on it. Faculty are important on achieving this. You cannot achieve it without faculty. Also the chair, the associate dean, the executive dean, everyone should contribute to this one and make sure it's happening. So each faculty should contribute to making common course material with quality, and we should have common assessment. And also we need, in the common assessment, we need to look at the coursework. In the coursework, we need to find a way to measure the quality of these courses and maybe participate in sharing assessment questions, reviewing, peer review before the assessment and after the assessment. Working on the quality assurance is good for every one of us, and it will help us improve our programs, and at the end our students will benefit from this. So we need to spend on that. Evaluation learning outcome, again, this is related to everyone, and the faculty play a major role in that one. You will see we have a tool that we're going to use. Every time you write an assessment, you need to think of the program learning outcome related to that course. And we'll give you a matrix that shows you for each course, this is the learning outcome, this is the program learning outcome related. And you make sure that your assessment is reflecting the program learning outcome as well, not only the course learning outcome. Industry collaborations, same thing, every one of us. The last 2 are more for program chairs and associate deans, executive deans. To get that one. Feedback from faculty is, again, important because you are on the ground, you know what needed for each lab, or you know what you needed for your professional development. Feeding all this information to your program chair will help in finding the right resources and giving you the right professional development. CA accreditation. What we have done so far with CA accreditation, changes have been made to course outlines to address CA requirement. Some of the course outline, they still in curriculum.net going through the process, but it's for you, I would prefer you use this link where you will have the mapping of everything. I think this link is very useful. I'll show you now how it works. If you click on it, and you will get this page. This is for CIS. AppliedCom, we will work on creating something similar, but there are no major changes on AppliedCom because it didn't go through accreditation. CIS went through two. One is CIS went through two. One CA as accreditation, and ABIT Foundation as review and consultant. This page here will have a link to almost everything. If you want to go to the program educational objective ABIT, you will get this our program learning, program educational objective. It's important to know the program educational objective are meant for 4 to 5 years after graduation. They're not meant for when the student graduates. It's not at the graduation. It is 4-5 years after graduation. So if someone graduated from our program in 4 or 5 years, what he will be able to do, where he will progress to, and what thing like that. So it is 4 or 5 years after graduation. Currently, we are not required to measure the program educational objectives, but we are required to review them. Review means say, are they the right one? But we don't need to measure the achievement or attainment of those program learning, program educational objectives. So the program educational objectives are listed here for the two programs. They are at the program level, not at the major level. So we have a set for information technology and set for information system. I have to say this one being reviewed by IBIT team, and they are happy with it. They requested some changes, we made the changes, and now they are happy with it as it is. Now there's a process to review them. We need to have our review process to go through, and we need to get our advisory committee. We need to specify, first of all, who are our constituents here, and we're saying our constituents are industry advisory committee, and they consist of employers. We have employers there, we have industry representative, we have faculty, and we have alumni. So that are our constituents that we will use to get the process of reviewing if those are the right. So we'll have a meeting at the beginning of the academic year. We'll present the program educational objective to our advisory committee. They will give feedback. If changes need to be made, we'll make those changes, minute it, and take it to faculty academic committee to review. And if they approve it and happy with that, they also minute it, and it becomes part of our quality assurance system and evidence. We have a form here where we're going to use later to fill that evidence based. Now, if you go back here, you have other things. You have program goals. The CA is slightly different from IBIT. CA wanted us to focus on the majors plus the program. IBIT want only the program. So you'll find here for each program we created program goals. Should not mix the program goals with the program learning outcomes. Program goals are similar to program educational objectives. They are after graduation, sometime after graduation. So what are we preparing student to be at the end? But the program learning outcomes are at the graduation time, which we'll come back to it later. So these are the different goals that we submitting to CA as our program goals. So program goals done, and then you will have here the program learning outcomes, which see the different goals and outcomes. The two first one, education objectives, program education, program goals are almost the same, but they are different language. IBIT call them program educational objective, and CIA and others, they call it program goals. The program learning outcomes are what we need to achieve at the graduation time. So we need to measure those one closer to graduation. So the assessment of those is related to year 3 and year 4. So I bet most accrediting bodies prefer that we evaluate courses in year 3 and 4, or evaluate the attainment of the program learning outcomes at year 3 and 4. Here, this document will show you each program learning outcome. We have 9 of them, common to all, the 9 of them here, and then we'll have for each measure some program learning outcome. I bet they do not need for the measure, they just need only the program learning outcomes or student outcomes for the main program. So each one of it mapped to the National Qualification Authority. So this, number 1, apply knowledge and computing and mathematics appropriate to the discipline. This one is related to those national qualification level descriptors. And it is in IBET, they have student outcome from A to I. And ours are the same. So we have 9 of our program learning outcome, and each one just maps directly to the same, almost the same one. Here they're saying ability to apply, and the rest is almost the same. So this one and the program learning outcome, one related to ABET A student outcome, and related to K1 and K5 of National Qualification Authority, or NQF Emirates, they call it. And here are the rest of it. You will go through it on your own time, and then we will have our major learning outcome. Now, when we mapped our major learning outcome, we find they are also corresponding to the ABET student outcome. So if we use ABET outcome as a driving force, it will get us done doing both program learning outcome and major learning outcome. And also you can go through this one and read it in details. Now for your courses, here are the courses. The rest of this you can look at it when you have time, but here are the courses. And I prefer you use this one. This will help you. If you're teaching, for example, CIS 2003, you will find your course outline here. You just click on it, you will get the course outline. Should come. Yeah, so that's the latest course outline. And you will find what are the program learning outcome related to that and should be addressed or measured by that course. Okay, so these are courses. You'll know here what level in QA. Year 1 and year 2 are level 5, year 3 level 6, and year 4 level 7. And here is the current CSA, which will change maybe later. I think we have a meeting and we will change that if needed. Here is what we have. What we're doing also, adding here the name of the course team leader. So if you are leading a course, your name will come here, and also adding comments and information when this course has been changed, what has been changed, and what the reason that changed, yeah, and those things. So these are all the courses in our program, which you can go through that one and look at it. So this link is what I prefer you go and use to find your course outline and all the other information related to the program learning outcome. Back here, so we made changes to the courses and to reflect the CA feedback. Thank you to everyone who contributed to that. Then the next one is program learning outcomes are now common for both CIS and IT programs. for IS and IT program. And they are also mapped, as you noticed, to ABITS and also to the national qualification. So this one there, and you can get it from going here and finding all this information there. The next one, we have created specific PLOs for each major. You saw that one when I presented it in the course, and they also mapped to ABIT, mapped to NQA. We also, to meet the requirement of common CSA, now we have policy. We add that we're going all to have a common assessment for every course, or our CSA will be common, and also will moderate some of the coursework. Also, common course material, we're going to have a common, as we discussed. The ABIT team, ABIT Foundation came and visited us, spent some time here, 3 days, to look at the curriculum. They had some discussion with me, and they gave us a report. And there are a number of things we need to address in that report, which we already addressed to a large extent, and I think they seem to be happy with that. We're in touch with them all the time. So what we have done, we'll talk about it in the next slide, or maybe the slide after this one. Okay. Our target is to go for ABIT self-study on November 2016. Here are the two things which I spoke about it before. I said the program learning outcomes in CA means student outcome in ABIT language, and they are measures expected to know and ability to do, and these relate to the knowledge, skills, and behaviors that students acquire as they progress through the program. So this when they come to the graduations, are they meeting that or not? And then we have the other one is the educational objective and program goals. So CA, they call it program goals, AB, they call it program education objective, and they are 4 to 5 years after graduation. They are long-term sort of outcomes. What changes you have made to meet ABIT recommendation? ABIT said your mathematics is not good enough, you don't have enough mathematics. I think we all admit that. We don't have strong or the right mathematics in our curriculum. And recommendation is to add a discrete math course. So we have added a course on discrete mathematics. We have the course description, course learning outcomes. I don't know why I did not link it here, but it is on the main page. If you go here and find CIS 22, here it is, 2203, discrete math, and you click on it, you should find the description there and learning outcome and week by week plan and everything. This is a full course outline being added to meet ABIT requirement, which we fully agree and think it's very important that we added it, because if you look at it, it builds student logic. It has so many things that help students think properly, use the mathematics, use the logic gates, use all the other important components, algorithm, which we are missing in our curriculum, and that's very important for our student to progress into the program. So the course is there. The next one, we added one course for the IT. The IT, when we mapped it, and thanks to Dr. Fauzi, when we mapped this one to ICM, we noticed there are a number of areas we are weak in it: networking and system architecture integration. We're doing it at the majors, but we're not doing it at the core. These need to be done at the core, and these need to be done at the core according to ICM requirement, and ABIT team also wanted the same thing. So we added this course. Again, the course is there. You'll find it on the metrics here. And currently we have only description learning outcomes. We're working on completing this one this week, and we'll get it done. Another course will be core only for IS. So the first one only for IT, the other one for IS, enterprise architecture. We have nothing in our IS about enterprise architectures, and we added this course. Now, these courses are only for students who are joining in 2015 and not the old cohort. Sorry. We removed 1503. I think IBIT said in some exchange of emails between us and IBIT Foundation saying this course is not needed, it's not required by the standards. The learning outcome in this course can be moved to other courses, and I know we have taken 2 learning outcome from this one. We added it to CIS 1203. So 1203 also changed, we need to be reflected here. And also 1503 is gone from our metrics for 2015. CIS 1103, we added networking. One big chunk of networking we're not covering in our curriculum. And this course using too much time to do the computer assembly and the hardware, which can be reduced, and that's again feedback we received. And we reduced that part and we added networking instead of that. And the new course outline is there as well, with learning outcomes being changed to reflect that, also the weekly plan and the assessment. So if you're teaching this course, please look at this one, this course, and follow this course outline. Sorry, AppCom team, it's more about CIS because of the accreditation. We'll have things that we'll discuss common after this. But all the things we have done for, not all of it, most of it is the same for AppCom. Like for example, continuous improvement, program learning outcomes evaluation, they are the same, and we'll talk about them later. A new CLO 4 was added on quantitative analysis to CIS 2003. IBIT said our quantitative analysis is not strong enough, and there is no quantitative analysis, in fact, so we have to add it. So we added this in CIS 2003. And please look at the course outline if you're teaching this course. CIS 2903, although it's a new course and new old, came from security measure, came to become core here. The IBIT team think we need to do more to strengthen coverage of selections, evaluation, administration, computer-based systems, and something line here. So we have done that. Now, continuous improvement, this is the cycle. We have two areas. One is here and one is here. This one is related to the program educational objective, this cycle, which the program goals. This one is program learning outcomes or student outcomes. Okay, so as we said, the program education objective, they need to be for preparing students for 4 to 5 years after graduation. So what the student will be able to do 4 and 5 years after graduation. And then what we need to review those PEO, if you call them, program education objective, with our advisory committee and ensure they are the right outcomes. And we need to do this annually, every year. So we're doing that. We'll have agenda item in the first meeting to go through that every year and document it, take it to the FAC. FAC will discuss it and make whatever corrections are needed and document that into the minutes. So that's easy thing to do. It's a very simple thing. The other one is a more more complicated, you can say, but more takes more time and need to be done every year, every semester. And we need to see, did we attain the program educational, program learning outcomes, student outcome. So we'll have a set of those program learning outcomes, which already have it. We will review it in terms of are they the right one or not. That will be done through our FAC. And then we need to have evidence. We need to gather data. So we're gathering data from our assessment. We will see we'll have a matrix that maps each course learning outcome to the program learning outcome, and focus on the program learning outcome to see did we attain that program learning outcome or not. And we have a target to achieve. We'll discuss it when I come to that. And that data will feed to the academic coordinators who will analyze it and present a finding, a recommendation to the FAC, and the FAC will use it to make improvement to the program. Also, we'll get some indirect assessment or evidence from focused group. We can have focus group. We need to have a focus group every semester, and from students who are going to graduate, they are at the last semesters, and ask them questions to measure if the program learning outcome has been achieved or not. Also, we get feedback from the work placement employers who supervise our students. So this all will feed together to help us improve our program. And that cycle we do every semester. This one we do every year, but the result of it will come in 4 or 5 years after graduation. And this we do every semester. The result will come when the student graduates. I mean, student graduate will be prepared according to the program learning outcome. After 5 years, he will be ready to do new challenges as written in the program educational objectives. Okay, so we'll talk about, there's a matrix we designed. I'll just take you through it, and the matrix try to gather data to ensure that we achieve the program learning outcome or student outcome if you're using ABIT language. And they are all mapped to every quality assurance system we have, and it is evidence. The evidence is gathered per program rather than per course. Yeah, we focus it in the program. Focuses on year 3 and 4 courses. Year 1 and 2, they are too early to make any impact on the program. And maybe student learn skills in year 1 and 2. When he came to graduation, the skills is already forgotten or lost. They need to be measured at the graduation, closer to the graduation. This is why it needs to be year 3 and 4. Here is the matrix, which I think is very interesting one. Sorry, it's not coming here. I'll get it for you now. So we have a matrix which we created, and here is the matrix. Here what you will see, you will have each measure, each program, sorry, move to my mouse quickly. Back. Yes, this is for the same will be for both CIS and Applied Com. So Applied Com team will be doing the same thing. So here is the program we're looking at, information systems. This is the measure, and this is the course. This is the first course in that measure. Now we have the program learning outcomes, the program course learning outcomes here, 1, 2, 3. And then we have the mapping. This is mapped to PLO 7, which mapped to ABIT G, which here. So if you're teaching this course, you need to think of ABIT-G outcome or PLO7. They are the same. So these are the same, so you need to be aware of this. Your course should help in attaining this one, should enable the student to attain that program learning outcome. And this is for the other course learning outcomes in this course. Now, here, this is mapping to National Qualification Authority, mapping to the graduate outcomes, the HCT graduate outcomes. Now, in fact, all this coming from this sheet. In this sheet, we have our PLOs, we have the ABIT, we have the GO. So you can see each one is mapped to the right one. We tried not to map one to many, just focus on the right one to use to measure our attainment instead of having a mesh of everything. And this one, in fact, read this live and get it here. So if this one become PLO 5, for example, everything will change automatic. I'm not editing, I'm not in the edit mode. If I change this PLO 5, this one will change, this one will change, this one, everything here will change. Now, what else we need to do? We need to gather data on that program learning outcome. Which assessment is contributing to that, and what is the percentage? So that's the percentage of the weight of that assessment from our CSA. Talking CSA, we also can use some coursework. And then comes this type of assessment is not important. Then we'll have the colleges here. Now the target we have is we achieve 70% of our student, 70% of our student achieving C or above. See, I'm not saying the average of the class 70%, no. 70% of students achieving C or above. If that achieved means the data we have is strong enough to say we have met that program learning outcome. If it's not, then we have to do something about it. And we need to measure it again and find that student is really met that student outcome or program learning outcome. And this is the average score of the course. It's not significant for our measurement. What's important is this one. We have a tool we're going to use to help us with this. I'll show you that tool as well. I think it's in the slide. I'm jumping. I'll do it, then I'll go to, let's do it from here. I think I put the tool here. I'll take a sample. Okay, here is a sample that you can go through. Here is a course where I took example like CIA 4503. This course is in information technology. It's application development major, and the rest of it you can fill it according to that, who is the teacher and whatever. Now, looking at the tool we have here. We have the learning outcome of that course. We have the ABIT or student outcome, which reflect to PLO1 in our case. And we're saying here on the CSA, which question in the CSA is helping in achieving the program learning outcome or student outcome. And that's question number 1, for example. Now, after we graded everyone and we have all the marks, did we get 73% of our students scoring C or above? If that's yes, then there's no action need to be made. So the attainment is achieved. But if only few students manage to get C and above, less than 70%, then in that case, we need to do something about it. And there is an example here of one. For example, analyze a given problem and implement a solution using appropriate design pattern. For example, came here, which related to ability to analyze a problem, identify and define a computing requirement. This is the program outcome. And question 3, and only 68% of students managed to score C or above. And here it's very close, but what we need to do, we need maybe to compare this one with the next semester and do something about it. And document it, and also reflect it into our quality improvement. And here is another example of very low performance. Only 45% of students achieved C or above and this one. And then here means we need to do really significant things. So we need to go maybe to year 1 or year 3 courses and make sure students are prepared to do this one, or maybe review the same course. It depends on what are the issues. Where are the issues? We need to go in depth and find it. If something like this, that is a very serious thing. It means the program learning outcome is not met at all. So these are the tools we will be using. So we talk about this one. Now, again, this is the same one. We'll just give you the example. We'll have the course name, we'll have all the details, and we will have this data. You already have it. You don't need it. You don't need to go and search for it somewhere else. It's already there. You have access to it. Let me just move this one. It is here. No, it is here. Where is it? It's in that matrix, which I closed. No? Where did I put it? Okay, let me move this screen here, go back here. It is again in that matrix, which I have it also here. I'll fix this link, team, and you will have this one working. I think I gave the wrong address. But if we go back here, and as you know, and you've seen it, that file where it has everything. I just want to show you the one. Good. I'm lost here. Yeah, I'm lost. Okay, I'll go to my drive. Here it is. Okay. So this is the one. And this one has all the information, as I said, you need. You need to go to this tab, yeah? So for every course you have, you will find your course learning outcome, you will find the ABET student outcome, also you'll find the program learning outcome. So this information is already there. Okay, so this one is there, and then you will have it with all your program learning outcome and course learning outcome. And then at the end of the semester, after you grade your student, you fill this form. Now it's important, if we have a course, we have a mixed student. We have students from information system and students from information technology doing the same course. We have to fill 2 forms, one for the group from information system, one from the group of information technology, because ABET wanted this one by the program, not by the course. Okay, so that's important for you to remember. Now we have done all this quality improvement, which we need to work on it. What events we have this year? Some of the key events happening this year in competition that we cannot ignore, and it's important for our student, important for the country, important for the industry. And I've listed those. M-Government round 3 is happening now. This year they have also more advanced things like creating apps for watches and wearable devices and other things. And the Emirates Skills is important. Nationwide competition. Microsoft Imaging Cup as well is important. And these are the 3 for CIS. I think if we just focus on those 3, it's enough for us this year. UPCOM, they have more festivals they need to do. The good thing about it, they are at a different location, like Abu Dhabi Book Fair, mostly Abu Dhabi students will participate because of the location and distance. Dubai Festival and film festivals and those things. Just let's have our energy on this and produce better results than for doing so many things for little. Now, Faculty Day on the 19th, we'll have faculty, you'll meet together. want you to focus on assessment of program learning outcome. You go to that spreadsheet, see what courses you are discussing in that meeting, the course you're discussing in that meeting. You need to think of how you're going to attain the program learning outcome, how your assessment will contribute to that. And that's important for you. Please, you do that. Don't just focus on the course and see alone on the program learning outcome. For our accreditation, we need the program learning outcome, and that's important. And it will help improving courses. If you find we're not able to attain a program learning outcome, we will go and improve other course or the same course or somewhere else, because the program learning outcome is the guiding principles for that. Course delivery is important to strengthen the course delivery. You will read in the ABET report on CA, many times they're saying we do not have enough principles and foundations. We're doing application more. Yes, apply is important for our students, for the industry, but the principles and foundation are also important. If students graduating with no balance of the two, they will be able to do things, but after some time they will not be able to develop. And they will do only things they used to do in the college. You give them assignment on new things coming with not there, they will not be able to do it. Important, you have your courses, your teaching, include the principles and fundamentals. It's very important. Fundamentals, foundations, principles, theories are very important, and we balance the two together. Without balancing that, we'll have big problem with accreditation, and they always look at us as a diploma or associate degree college, not a bachelor program. Review the CSA, as we said, we need to reflect the program learning outcome. You can do the first one and the third one together. So your CSA should have also the program learning outcome, not only the course learning outcome. I'll give you example here on that link. Go back here. I have a short link that I use, tiny URL, ict.ic. It will take me here. Now I'll show you some of the current CSA. They already have a way to do this. Let's look at this one. Hope it's the right one that I should use. Not the right one. I'm looking for a course where, sorry, it's not the right one, but if not, then I can't remember which one I used last time as example. Oh, here it is. This is the right one. This is our existing CSA, which need to be reviewed because the course learning outcome changed and other things changed. Every course we need to review the CSA. But you notice here we have PLO here, column for it. But none of us use this one. None of our CSA has anything here. So that need to be added here from the metrics which we have. And when you think of your assessment and design assessment, you need to have a direct measure of that program learning outcome. Year 3 and 4. So focusing on year 3 and 4, not doing year 1 and 2, because it will be a big thing to do. We'll do only year 3 and 4 in terms of assessing the program learning outcome. We will review year 1 and 2 in terms of assessment, quality of assessment, in terms of relevant of the course outline, other things. But for the program learning outcomes, we'll focus on year 3 and 4. So any course year 3 and 4, you need to add the program learning outcome, and your assessment should directly address that program learning outcome. Also, we need to say if that fully met or partially met, or which we will talk about it later. Now, see, that's where is a starting point for you. So you can do this one and this one together. If you reflect it into this here and make sure the questions you agree on it and the way to assess will directly address the program learning outcome, then you have done both. Okay? Then the next one you need to agree, because you have a common exam for every course. All of us doing the same exam, the same student, the same time, they're doing the same exam. And maybe one in the morning or afternoon, we need different versions in that case. But if we're doing all the same exam, we need to agree on contribution to that exam. Who will write question? We need not only one question from each one from each learning outcome. We need multiple questions. I think this will help us to build our database of questions in the future. So if each one contribute number of questions and you agree together what are the learning outcome or the question that each one will contribute during your meeting, and you get that one done with the timeline and when it's going to happen. Also the coursework assessment, we need to also get it aligned together. So we have to discuss how we're going to do about coursework assessment. What type of assessment we'll have each semester. And if we agree on a specification and support in terms of contributing to supporting each other's, that will be very important. I think we need to do that because our assessment now are not at the level that we want to be in terms of being common. We have quality in many courses and we have quality everywhere, but for accreditation, you need to see that we are assessing and doing the same thing, because the same student graduating from the same program have to be, what I mean, the same student from same background, prepared for the same thing, and they are coming from the same program. They need to have the same quality assessment everywhere, and that's we need to work on. So for your faculty day or course team meeting, focus on these things. Please get this done. I need the CISAC to reflect the program outcome and also reflect how we're going to address the program learning outcome. And we need to contribute, agree on who will prepare what questions, and goes all to the leader of that team, and make sure when you teach your course and your course material reflecting the principles, fundamentals, foundation, enough theory, and balance between that theory and practice together. Semesters meeting, as I said before, we're cutting those meetings. We used to have CISAC meeting every week. Now we'll have CISAC meeting every other week. And maybe later we can make it once a month if we have a clear strategy and actions which we will go and implement, and just meet to discuss continuous improvement. So bi-weekly, the FAC used to be every week, will be bi-weekly now. Course team meeting will have only two, one at the start of the semester, one at the end of the semester. We cannot afford having none. We need two, and at start of semester important, we agree on CSA, on the attainment of the program learning outcome, on contribution of to the final assessment. All these things important. At the end, we need to evaluate the results and reflect on them, and also evaluate the courses and recommend further improvement on that. Advisory committee will have two, one in October, one in May, and professional development. These are the two professional developments in the fall and in the spring. This is all. Thank you very much. I know it was a long presentation. I apologize for being that long, but I think lots of important information that you need to know. And let's discuss it. Ask me more questions to clarify things during our meeting when we meet on the 19th. Thank you very much.